Hi lovely viewers, it's me again, your one and only Mutati Mpundu. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time on my channel, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel by hitting the red subscribe button down below and turn the bell icon to join the notification squad. Don't forget to like, share and leave a comment. Tell me what you think about this video in the comment section below. I'll be super glad to hear from you lovely viewers.
If you can tell me, if it is not about bitterness, tell me why is a family, what is the justification for Edgar Lungu's family to bury him in South Africa? Don't tell me that's what the family wants. Why? You have the phone number. You can start calling now. You have my phone. You have the phone number that you call. You can call in now and tell me what is the justification for burying Edgar Chagwa Lungu in South Africa. Don't tell me, no, that's what the family wants. Tell me the reason which we should all agree. If you give me a good reason, I'm telling you now, so I can change. If you give me a good reason why Edgar Lungu should be buried there, if you give me a good reason, I can assure you, even right now, I can change. Hello?
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yes. I've heard your broadcast, and I want to contribute one or two things.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we are confusing things in the funeral of Edgar Chagwa Lungu.
Okay.
What we should realize is that there are 3 or 4 prayer. Sorry, my name is Howard Mlenga, coming from the UK, Leicester.
Okay.
Yeah, what we should realize that there are 3 stakeholders in Edgar Chagwa Lungu. The first stakeholder is the family, which is the owner of the body. The second is government and us citizens. The third is the political party, in this case PF and Tonse. So in these of these 3 stakeholders, the most affected of all is the family.
Yes.
And then and the government and other stakeholders, we are secondary. The most affected is the family, and they are the ones who suffered with Edgar Chagwa Lungu. They are the ones who were closer to him. We can't claim that you and me were very close to Edgar than the family, the wife and the children.
Sorry, hold on, sir. Hold on. I want us to be logical. The question that I'm asking here, the so-called family, I'm saying the so-called family, wants Edgar Lungu to be buried in South Africa. My question to you, what is the justification for that family who is, who are the people who are bothered? What is the justification for burying Edgar Chagwa Lungu in South Africa?
Yes, so that's where I was coming to. When the family who were with Edgar Lungu, who suffered with Edgar Lungu, they were on the bedside of Edgar Lungu. They saw how the sufferings, and obviously Edgar Lungu and the family were discussing things that they know. We don't know, you and me don't know, but the family, the closest, know what they were discussing. So the justification
Sir, according to you, tell me what you have understood from whatever has been said. A lot has been said. From what you have heard, can you tell me to say the justification for them to insist to bury Edgar Lungu in South Africa is this? Please go to that point.
Well, that's where I was coming. No. So the justification. Let me shorten it. The justification is that Edgar Lungu, the current government, they were not in good books. Okay, so he left his wish. Let him wish with, but few people who start with Edgar Lungu know that that's what he said.
Okay. So Edgar Lungu said, I don't want to be buried in Zambia. because he had no good relationship with Hakainde Hichilema. Is that what you are saying?
No. No, I'm saying that Edgar Lungu, the which he left was that the head of state at the moment should not be near the body. The head of state shouldn't be there.
And that's what I'm saying. Isn't that bitterness? Isn't that hatred?
No, it is. It's not hatred, but it's not hatred in the sense that.
But it's bitterness. But it's bitterness. Isn't it bitterness? When I say, uyu muntu tafwira kupalama kuchitumbi chandi, pantwari nchisire chakuti, isn't that bitterness?
Let me give you an example.
Isn't that bitterness?
Let me give you an example. Okay.
Let's see. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Tayari mulishani?
Ndife bwino mayo mulishani naimwe.
Well, they don't forced to watch your live. Usually I don't even watch your live, but today I'm forced to watch your live, so I can also contribute. And it's been a long time since I called your program.
Inimweba ni mayo. So that the country can hear you, can know you. I know the country. You would want the country to know you.
The country knows me. I mean, I was on TV yesterday. Let's not go that far.
No, no, just for the benefit of what to say. Introduce yourself. Introduce yourself. Oh, you don't want to introduce yourself. Say I don't want to introduce myself.
Oh, you want me to introduce? I think the people know me. Okay, this is Chair, the voice of Zambia.
Exactly. Yeah. Go ahead now. Let the people know you. Go ahead, my dear. Landeni mayo. Not to me landaposana pa London. Ipopolele. I will even give you time. Landeni mayo na lami pelenjita Landeni tumfwe.
Again, tumfwe gaidi. I've actually said today I'm gonna call your program. Yeah. So first of all, I want to ask you a question.
Yes.
There's a time when you were doing my live videos, and you were the one who told us. Actually, I didn't even know it. You said something to say, the moment you join UPNP, the first task that they are going to give you is to attack the Chagwalu.
Yes. Yes.
So now I see by UPND, including UPND Director Max Moore, sharing your podcast and then the coverage. So I also want to remind you that at the time when Edgar Lungu, he had not come back into active politics, you, Tayali, at some point, you were used to actually file in some papers to say Edgar Lungu should be stripped of his benefits. You remember that?
It wasn't, okay, wait a minute.
You went to court.
Okay, so listen.
You went to court and you accused Edgar Chagwalungu of whatever he was doing, that he was actually doing politics. He was politicking. And there's a record, Tayali. Okay. You filed in at court that the government of the Republic of Zambia would strip off Edgar Chagwalungu's benefit because he was politicking. You remember that? Okay, so just a clarification. I do remember that. I just want you to... no, don't clarify anything. I just want you to say, yes, I remember. Monenimayo. Let's see. You said you're going to give me... Yes, but Kylie... time, and it's your platform, and you're going to speak afterwards. I just want you to say, I remember. But a clarification is, it was not before Edgar Lungu came into politics. It was when I went back. It was after. It was after. I had even started... No. You cannot file in after when somebody is not in active politics. You actually filed in when he was jogging, going to church. You filed in to say whatever Edgar Lungu is doing is politicking. Therefore, government must strip off his benefit. You did that, it's on record. Edgar Chagwalungu came back into active politics on the 20th of October 2023. At the time, Mao Sampa. Beverly, if a good engagement
we need to listen to each other. A good engagement, it's good to listen to each other. So, I'm the one that went to court. Actually, I joined Isaac Mwanza. Isaac Mwanza is the one that started.
Isaac Mwanza, who was filed in a petition against the Constitutional Court ruling. That's the guy you joined.
Yes, I joined him. But now, let me just give you, the sequence of things. By that time, I had actually started the Alebwe Rapport agenda, including yourself. We were doing the Alebwe Rapport agenda. But myself, I became overwhelmed with cases. And I didn't have enough help. And that is when I went to UPND. Mukupapa tokoa tibandelele. And one of the things that they brought to me is to join Isaac Mwanza on that case. And this is where I was saying that one of the things that when you join UPND, the first thing that they give you is to attack Edgar Chagwa. And that is one of those things. So you were right when you said that. And that is one of the things. But this came after I was overwhelmed with cases because of the Alebwe Rapport agenda. That is a clarification, my dear.
Right, so I get you. So it came after you get overwhelmed.
Exactly.
So you betrayed at the slightest. No. We are having a conversation. At the slightest opportunity that you got the overwhelming, you decided to betray Edgar Chagwa and joined UPND and started petitioning that his benefits should be removed. Let's just put that on record.
Okay, fine.
Now,
go ahead.
Yes. So now, going forward, you have to understand that it's not the Patriotic Front that we're pushing Edgar Chagwa to come back into active politics. It is on record. Edgar Chagwa himself, with the Voice of Africa, Voice of America, he did an interview and he said, I came back into active politics because I had no choice. My children were being persecuted. My wife was being persecuted. They've decided to kill me like an animal. It is on record. The videos are there, well documented.
True.
So when you start accusing people that people were pushing Edgar Lungu to come into active politics, that is a very wrong narrative that you're trying to propagate.
So
Edgar Chagwa Lungu came back into active politics on the 28th of October 2023. At the time, Mao Samba, on the 24th of October 2023, took over Patriotic Front at the help of the government. The government gave Mao Samba total security, machinery, and they did a convention, an illegal convention, and that's what prompted Edgar Chagwa Lungu, apart from the fact that his children and their wife were being persecuted by the UPND administration. So let's take the facts. Let's not accuse people to say these are the reasons because very popular and things like that. Even you, Tayaj, what you're doing today, it is because UPND administration right now, they are running out of people to speak on their behalf. So they're using people like you, people like Siawan, to speak on behalf of Hakainde Hichilema. Now listen, you said something about Hakainde Hichilema to say, if Hakainde Hichilema was bad because he's got his story to tell, nobody's stopping Hakainde Hichilema to tell his story, how he was arrested or whatsoever. Let Edgar Lungu tell his story through the people that really care for him. If Hakainde Hichilema wants to tell a story, let him tell his story of how he was arrested. Nobody's stopping him. Nobody's going to stand in his way. But let's also be realistic and factual.
Wait a minute. Beverly, wait a minute. I want us to follow point by point. I'm grateful that you called. Really.
Yeah.
And I want people to benefit out of this. You have got followers. And I'm sure they are happy that you have called in. So, let's follow issues step by step. So you said that Edgar Lungu came back into politics in October 2023. That's what you have said.
Yes. And on the 28th on Saturday Memorial. Yes.
So now, from my point of view, this is the story that I lived, not a story that I hate. I used to go and sit with Edgar Lungu. I'm the one that went to Edgar Lungu. And I went to Edgar Lungu to ask him to come back into politics. I went to him in April 2022. April 2022. In April 2022, when I went to him, Edgar Lungu refused to say, no, I'm not I'm not interested. I'm not interested. I've done my part. And our meeting continued for some time. I went there a number of times. And that is when I said, okay, fine. So if you don't want, what should we do? Somebody must take over PF. And this is where the Mundubile issue came in. I'm sure you remember very well that I was campaigning for Brian Mundubile. And Brian Mundubile, when I started campaigning for Brian Mundubile, I had to make sure that I had it correct with Edgar Lungu. And Edgar Lungu gave me a go-ahead. However, later on, towards the end of 2022, towards the end of 2022, these issues started coming up. And these issues, my sister, I am not lying. I've got no interest to lie. These issues, we were discussing them in the house. In the house. And I can tell you, I don't want to mention to say, this one said this one said this, but I can tell you that these discussions were happening in the house. And one of the issues, one of the persons that I can remember, that I can bring on board is Bawinta Kabimba. Bawinta Kabimba used to sit with us when we were discussing this issue now of Edgar Lungu coming back into active politics. So it is not that time when you are talking about in October. No, it is late 2022 when we started now campaigning for Alebwelerapo. And we started Alebwelerapo with the consent of Edgar Lungu. I couldn't have gone to say Alebwelerapo when he didn't give me the consent. He gave me the consent. So,
now,
listen, my dear.
I know what
so listen.
At the time of Alebwelerapo, I think this is, I think we need this conversation because you and I, we all got, you know, people watching. But UPND are watching, Akainde HMI is watching, everybody else is watching us. So I think let's give each other time. So remember, you and I started Alebwelerapo. Let's put it that way.
When did we start?
Are the people when did we start
Alebwelerapo?
Right?
When did we start Alebwelerapo? When?
That was for me. I started way back, even before the song started of Alebwelerapo. I started saying Edgar Lungu should come back. So now, wait, you abandoned Alebwelerapo. Remember?
Yes.
And people started saying, now that Tayari has abandoned Alebwelerapo, we are going to see if this girl is going to continue. And I remained singing that song. That is when you went to UPND, like you have said, to say you got overwhelmed because Malou was not helping you with money, isn't it?
With cases, yes.
Yes, and you got overwhelmed, isn't it?
Yes.
So when you were doing Alebwelerapo, it was more of, for you and me, it was a little bit different because for you, it was something that you wanted to get something out of in return. Then when you couldn't get something in return, you had to drop it.
Beverly.
Let me finish. I gave you time to finish. Let me talk. Don't interrupt me.
No, Beverly. Let me finish.
Beverly.
Beverly. The question that we have is that.
Right.
The question that we have is that whatever we were doing, was Edgar Lungu aware of this issue of Alebwelerapo? Was he aware or he was not?
No, he was aware. He could watch. He could watch.
So did Edgar Lungu?
So he was aware.
Wait a minute.
But I can assure you that Edgar Lungu did not send people. Did not send people to campaign for it. Because me, that one different.
So you,
Edgar Lungu did not
listen.
Edgar Lungu go on the platform and start talking on my behalf.
For you, he didn't send you. But for me, he did. For me, he did.
Right, and therefore you expected something in return because he sent you, right?
No, we are not talking about benefits. We are talking about when did Edgar Lungu start participating?
Why did you abandon Alebwelerapo and why did you file in a court, a thing of Edgar Lungu being stripped?
My dear, we have to be very logical here. What we are trying to establish.
I'm just asking questions. I want to understand it.
Okay, I will respond.
That timeline.
I will respond.
That timeline. What happened? Why did you abandon Alebwelerapo?
That's the question. Okay.
And why did you file in a court that Edgar Lungu's benefits should be stripped?
So let me answer. So, first of all, what we are trying to establish is when did Edgar Lungu start meddling in politics? And from my point of view, you said he came back into politics in October 2023. And my argument is that no, he started much earlier. What is the evidence to that? I have told you myself. I was actually encouraged to do that. And even when you were doing that, Edgar Lungu did not come out to say, no, me have retired from politics. He let it go because it was fitting in his agenda. Now, why did you abandon Alewere Rapo? Why did you abandon Alewere? I abandoned Alewere Rapo because I was overwhelmed with cases. I was overwhelmed with cases and I didn't get help. And overwhelmed with cases, it doesn't mean that I wanted him to give him money. No, it's to help me with the cases because the Alewere Rapo agenda brought these issues of me being in court. So I abandoned it. And because I had cases, I went to plead with UPND. So that Bandekereko, na papa tanalebe na leka Alewere Rapo. Ndekereniko, I am cases mwankwika. Please free me. The UPND did not free me. So why did I go to court? Because this is one of the issues that came up. Somebody told me, you know that Edgar Lungu is doing politics because you are one of those people that used to talk to him. You know. So join Isaac Mwanza. And that's how I joined Isaac Mwanza. I think I've answered you. Hello? Are you there?
Yes, no, I'm listening.
Yeah.
I'm listening.
Yes,
I'm listening.
I've answered you. I've explained clearly.
All right. So we have established that because we are talking of, let's go forward now. We're talking of Edgar Lungu dying and his benefits being stripped. You are one of the culprits that enabled the benefits of Edgar Chagwa to be stripped. So let's put that on record as well.
Okay.
Now let's talk of what is happening. Let's talk of what is happening now. Okay.
I want the justification.
So now your argument
from
now.
You, I want your justification.
Your argument now is that Hakainde Hichilema has been very reasonable, such that if he wanted, he wouldn't do a state funeral or what.
Yes, he would have been talking.
If he wanted with Edgar Lungu, he couldn't have at the time before he came back into active politics. He wouldn't have given the benefits. But you have to understand that the benefits that were due to President Edgar Lungu were constitutional because of the service that he did for this country. It is not up to Hakainde Hichilema to decide whether he should or should not give the benefits to Edgar Lungu. And as the Constitution say that when he returned into active politics, those benefits were stripped off. So let's make it clear. It is not that Hakainde Hichilema was doing Edgar Lungu a favor. Edgar Lungu worked for those his benefits.
And what does
it is not something that Hakainde Hichilema should decide to say, if I wanted, if I'm going to be bad, Edgar Lungu, I could have not given him his benefits. Okay,
no. so Beverly,
then let's talk about
wait. What does the Constitution say? What does the Constitution say when a former president is still active in politics? What does the Constitution say? What does it say?
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing to say that the benefits were taken because Edgar Lungu returned into active politics, and he was aware that his benefits are going to be taken.
Thank you.
Okay.
So,
but then.
So go ahead.
So now your argument that we have established that. I just wanted to put it on record that it wasn't up to Hakainde Hichilema to give Edgar Lungu benefits. As the Constitution was entitled.
No one has said that. No one has said that. No one has said that.
No, you said it. You said if he wanted, if he was bad and things like that. You said it. I was either on your life.
Okay, so
now
listen.
You're talking of the South African government.
Listen. I said Hakainde Hichilema is being reasonable. I said when Edgar Lungu died, he would have said, I am not going to give this man a state funeral because of how he treated me when I was in opposition. That's what I said. Not about the benefits. It is after he died, Edgar Lungu would have, Hakainde Hichilema would have decided to start telling the bitter story of what he experienced when he was in opposition, when Edgar Lungu was a president. But Hakainde Hichilema decided not to go that route because this is a bereavement. And he has said, let's give him a state funeral. So he's being reasonable.
Okay, so
in that
give me
sense.
a chance now to talk about the funeral and South Africa. Right, so he said that, and to be honest with you, the will that Edgar Lungu wrote was that Hakainde Hichilema should not preside over his funeral. Okay, now you mentioned something about South Africans saying no, I'm over to South Africa, go now let me come diplomatically and things like that. That is not true because what is happening in South Africa is that the laws in South Africa apply. It is not up to Cyril Ramaphosa or Hakainde Hichilema to say, oh, go and bury in South Africa. No. According to the Constitution of South Africa, anybody who dies in South Africa, their family have got the right to decide whether that body should be repatriated to their respective country or to be buried in South Africa. That is law in South Africa. Let's not bend the law. So there's no one that's saying, oh, they've chucked you diplomatically. You even saw Aula Mora when he came to see Hakainde Hichilema.
So just on that one.
To say, it is our considered view that President Lungu should be buried in Zambia. Okay?
What does that mean?
At the same time, the laws of South Africa give the family the right to decide where the president should be buried.
Chair. What does it mean when somebody said our considered view is that Edgar Lungu should be buried in Zambia? What does it mean? Are they saying they want him in South Africa or they want him in Zambia? What are they saying?
Then they are saying as a president of the former president, their view is that this issue should be sorted out amicably, and for their view
where does South Africa want South Africa want Edgar Lungu to be buried?
Let me speak.
Wait.
Give me the chance to speak.
Where does South Africa?
Everything.
No. Answer this one. Answer.
You are stopping me from speaking.
No. You will speak. I will give you. But I just want us to flow well. According to the South African government, where do they want Edgar Lungu to be buried? Where?
They don't mind anywhere to be buried.
No. Our considered view is
they
that
don't mind anywhere. No, you saying that it is our considered view. It is actually them just saying in terms of diplomacy. This is what our view is. But what is
that view? What is that view? Before we go to the law, where do they want Edgar Lungu to be buried?
The South African government will respect the decision of the family.
Before the law.
We are today. If Hakainde Hichilema had excused himself, we wouldn't be here today. What is it that you are missing? What is it with the body of Edgar Chagwa that Hakainde Hichilema cannot excuse himself? I think let's answer the most difficult questions here. What is it that is with the body of Edgar Chagwa that President Hakainde Hichilema has refused and has failed to excuse himself? Because all this impasse that is happening right now, it has been caused by one Hakainde Hichilema. If Hakainde Hichilema could excuse himself, by today, by tomorrow, the body will be in Zambia and will be buried.
Okay, so Beverly, I want to, before I let you go, I want to ask you a question. You and I don't think we are, we drink from the same cup. Would it be right if I die and I say, I don't want Beverly to come to my funeral? Would that be good? When you look at our Christian values, would that be right? Would that be right?
I would also answer this. What is so Christian about that now you're considering Christianity about stopping somebody from accessing medical care?
No,
what's so Christian about that?
No, there is nothing Christian, but my issue.
Yes.
You haven't answered my issue.
Listen.
You haven't answered my issue.
Listen, if I said I don't want Diali to be anywhere near my funeral, first of all, that has nothing to do with Christianity. Second of all, that is my wish. And I only know the reason why I don't want Tayali to my funeral.
Okay, fair enough.
And that should be respected.
So
let's not go about.
So that's the justification, eh? It's justified that Edgar Lungu, because Hakainde Hichilema is the head of state, he has to be there. Since he can't, he has refused to excuse himself, then Edgar Lungu should be buried in South Africa. Though that is a justification, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
For me,
because
according to me, that is bitterness.
And as long as Hakainde Hichilema has not excused himself, Edgar Lungu must be buried in South Africa.
According to
because Hakainde Hichilema does not want to respect the wishes of Edgar Chagwa. First of all, we need to establish that Hakainde Hichilema and President Edgar Lungu were never friends. They can never be friends. And right now, it's not where we can start talking about our Christian values. Tayali, you have seen how the insults that are being done towards the former head of state's impasse. So what is Christian about what is happening on social media? What is Christian about what you are doing, publishing is death certificates? So let's also consider that. How is the family feeling? You are attacking a grieving family, a bereaved family. How is that Christianity? Because even the Bible says we have to show love to the people that are grieving. But Tayali, is this how you show love to the family of Edgar Chagwa Lungu? Is this how Hakainde Hichilema and the UPN decide to show love to them?
Are they grieving? Are they grieving? Because I'm wondering if really they are grieving. Because if they were grieving, I don't think
so now you determine how they should and should not grieve. The family of Edgar Chagwa Lungu, Tayali has to determine how they should grieve.
From my point of view.
This is a widow that is standing in court and trying to defend her husband's court. And you're asking, are they grieving?
Okay, so my sister.
What is so Christian about what he did?
Okay.
When he made the widow stand in court. What is Christian about that?
Okay, so Chair, I think we have agreed on something. According to you, it is justified for them to dwell on what Hakainde Hichilema did to Edgar Lungu. It is justified. For me, I'm saying it is not
they're
justified.
not dwelling on it. They are respecting the wishes of Edgar Chagwa Lungu before he died.
Okay,
and
fine.
it is very justified that the family protects and respects the wishes of Edgar Chagwa Lungu.
From my point of view, my sister, it is not justified because I consider it bitterness and hatred. That is from my point of view. You have a different view.
You might call it bitterness and hatred, but I call it as keeping a promise to the deceased.
Thank you very much. Can I pick another call now? I think
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Yes, please.
I just wanted to ask a question because I've been hearing with the lady that called. And what you said, to say that the president, if he wanted, he would have said, I would not give the former president the state funeral because he was bad to me. So does that mean that the former president is not entitled to a funeral, to the state funeral, by that Zambian law?
Okay, so very good question. Let me clarify that. So, according to our laws, a former head of state, when he dies, it is not prescribed that there should be a state funeral. No, it is not anywhere in the laws. What is prescribed in the law is that government should cater for his funeral. Okay? Now, catering for his funeral does not necessarily mean a state funeral. A state funeral is at the discretion of the president. And a state funeral, the president can give to anyone who he thinks that he has contributed significantly to the country. So he can give anyone, even yourself. If the president thinks that you have done a lot for Zambia, he can give you a state funeral. But at the same time, he can refuse. So similarly to Edgar Lungu, Hakainde Hichilema, if he was bitter, he wouldn't have declared a state funeral because it is in his discretion. I hope I've answered.
You've answered that question, but also now it leads to another question. Because what the state said in South Africa is that they put that court whatever to say that due to public interest, they need for South Africa to compel the family to bring the body so that they can give the former president the state funeral.
So there
is no base, isn't it?
Can I come in?
If it's not prescribed and it's just at their discretion, then there is no base, since it's not law.
Okay, so here is a clarification. The government has not gone to the South African court to say it is in the law. No, they haven't said that. What they have spoken about is public interest, and they have used a precedence in the case of Bakaunda. In the case of Bakaunda wanted to be buried next to his wife at his farm, and the family, particularly Kawechebanda, insisted that his father should be buried next to the wife. He went to court. He actually sued because government said no, he should be buried at Embassy Park. So he went to court, and the court ruling said that public interest is more than the personal and the family wishes. So that is the law, if you like, because when a court makes a ruling, it becomes a law. It is called precedence. It is called case law. So that is the case that they have brought to the South African court. They have not said we are giving, it is part of the laws to give a state funeral. No, they haven't said that. But they have quoted a situation of Bakaunda. That is what they have quoted.
Okay. I just wanted to understand more, because I'm seeing all these things that in the end, for me, it is according to my interest as a Zambian for the former president to be buried in Zambia, yes. But not Pamaka, that will take the body no matter what and bury it in Zambia.
No, my sister.
We want it to be done in unity.
My sister.
And in love.
My sister.
With the consent of the family.
Exactly. And this is what government has been doing. This is what government has been doing.
Yeah.
There is a narrative that government wants to do this Pamaka. From my point of view, has been following this case, I haven't seen anywhere where government has used the force. No, government has not used force at any point. Even going to court, they only went to court because if they had not gone to court, by now they would have buried. They went to court so that maybe they can continue engaging and reach a solution. Government is not putting it by force. Hakainde Hichilema actually said it. He said it is not about power. No, it is about agreeing with the family. I think government has been very clear on that.
Yes, but agreeing with the family means that he also agrees that the former president's wish was that he be not next to anywhere next or to the body or the funeral.
Okay, thank you, my sister. Thank you. Hello? Hello?
Atari.
Emkwan.
Mulishani wakaramba.
Bwina femkwan.
Atari nenkwateseka kwesena kepi.
Ipushe ni mkwan.
So, pushe. Iwishwa Edgar Lungu towa shide. Is it preaching love and reconciliation, or it's preaching bitterness? So number. Before the Africa bantu bekara chaba. In a question. So umuntu anishiro omuti. Ukwati reconcile, love each other. Then any last wish yakwe is not preaching a conciliation. So should we continue with observing the 18th October nangoawe? A question and what
Yo, abantu emkwai natotera. Nalaika abantu basuke. Hello?
Mr. President, good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you. This is Eric.
Yes.
Yes, I want to take up my contribution and also look at that chair lady who called. I think she's not trying way. What we are talking about is a former president who has died and who needs to be buried with the dignity and honor that he deserves, that level of office he held in the country of Zambia. You see? Now, what I want to take on is that language that is coming out of that child, it does not unite in any way. I want to take it, this position. You know of Madam Edith Nawak, how critical she was about President HH. That lady was very, very critical. And then later on, you saw the arrest that came about that followed her, where she was always arrested, taken here and there. But in the death, there was that unity with the family. The family would have decided that they don't want President HH also near because he kept on arresting her, putting her behind bars and that kind of stuff. No, but that wasn't the case. What they wanted was unity to people. The state took over that funeral until up to the burial point. The president was present for that funeral at the cathedral. Chief Mubanda spoke, and he spoke right in front of the president about the unity, about the cases that Edith Nawak went through, how the police were on her up to the hospital bed where in your teenage. You saw that that is the unity that all people should always advocate for. Now, Edgar Lungu is gone. Whatever people are going to say, no, HH is the head of state. Imagine that there are presidents that are invited to the funeral of Edgar Lungu. They are presidents. They come. Who is going to host the president? It is who? It is President HH. You think HH is going to sit at the community house or the state house once the funeral is going on in a showground or at the Heroes Stadium, and he will be watching through TV when they are visiting heads of state in the country, other presidents from other countries. The host president is seated in the state house watching on TV. How normal is that? Do people even think? Do they even think? Do they even reason? Why are we using that office of president to a mayor? That funeral is not a funeral like Chiboria or Kanyama or anywhere. That is a national funeral.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
So sometimes, yes, people must be able to think. Then one other point just before I go. You know, when that time when Mao Sampa took over the president, I know she spoke about it. When Mao Sampa took over the president, it was because they were made to pay those $250 as the whatever nomination fees for those that wanted to participate in the selection of the president of the PA. Mao Sampa saw it to say, to repeat and drama, there's nothing that is happening, and these people might even do a first one. Why is it that it is taking too long for us to choose this one to it? And this year kept, very quiet over that issue, even after fees were paid. So that confusion within the PF is something that has been made up by themselves, and Mao is at the center of everything.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Hello? Hello?
Hello, Mr. Tari.
Yes, sir. That's what we start. Hello?
Why chungu mkwe?
I'm quiet.
Mwana tote. So ulia umkashana chea muse pela so taimona takote sana picture huko mwone fili kuntanshi kozere cho arifo ya kufilira musenga which it won't help anyone no manga nga twashita insist tushike barungu ku South Africa ishita memorio chakula bashani bagala kwatashani memorio yoyi nangu next year bakubukusha barungu chika bashani te confusion feka then futi chimbe chingatwafako bari abakwatako omuntu, let's say ku Ghana or whichever country where their president buried in another country. What followed next? What made them to ensure that even after so many years, they requested for that for those remains to be repatriated back into the country? Because frankly, Robert Mugabe Mumwabo, the family insisted to bury him somewhere else, but later on they had to ensure that no, let's bring him to where he's supposed to be. So what made them to do that? Because you can make a decision now, and then what will follow? How are you going to handle that? So maybe if they were to find out from the people that have gone through that, maybe it will open their eyes. Because today maybe our thinking is no, but what's the point?
My brother, according to these people that are propagating for this, according to them,
yes,
they are looking at this as a political opportunity, okay, where they will now come to the people and start campaigning to say, vote for us so that we can bring the body of Edgar Lungu back into Zambia. And they will be saying, Hakainde Hichilema is very bad. That's why Edgar Lungu is buried. So they want to make a political fortune out of this. Unfortunately, that is the issue. And this is why I am saying that it is political. And this is why I'm even speaking strongly against certain individuals.
So Nangabalo Resha, like if they want to play it that way, so they can't assess it like now what is happening, because we can easily tell that people are not on their side, because if they were on their side, they would have risen against the church to say no, why are you stopping? Can you? Because even that the wish they made to say it shouldn't see or part of the funeral, people would have risen and said, no, you should not be part of the funeral. But no one is saying that. No one is saying that. So that I don't think that will work. They need to think twice.
Anyway, thank you.
That's what I wanted to say. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yeah, I just want to contribute because of the issues happening in our country. Yes. I think you people should ashamed of themselves. Why am I saying this? Very side Kasama relationship Galungu. These people were too open to speak bad about Edgar Lungu, including our president. Our president was not diplomatic the way he was attacking Edgar Lungu. And today, just because he has died, and they want to tend to be angels, that's why people are saying, they can't manana federal kusababika, let him be buried that side. Because even me, I can't allow someone who always on to say, I will do something against you, I'll do something against you. Always owning our family wanga. Then our family are married. Then someone comes and says, no, I want to take part. Definitely we'll take them as witches who cannot be present on the funeral. You understand? So, UPND very sawanya very kafie relationship and they should just let the family do exactly what they want. Whether it was the wish of the Edgar Lungu or it was just the plan of the family, looking at how Edgar Lungu was treated. So let them stay away.
Thank you.
That's it, sir.
Thank you. Hello? Hello?
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah. It's really a good topic. And I just want to speak about 3 things. That is the government. I'll be very quick. The government, South Africa. See, if you look at our government, it is playing so smart. You know, what they're doing is they're kind of exhausting all the avenues so that Kuntanshi, nobody that you didn't do this. Okay?
They are trying. It's not that they are forcing Lungu Kovac should come. I think they will be fine. Nangubaba Barrett to South Africa. Ngababa Barrett to Zambia to the bonus. Yeah, so they're just very careful with what they're doing. Okay? Yeah. So government of South Africa, it is clear they're just using diplomacy. What they're saying is he's better off in Zambia, but they just don't want to come out. This is what it is. But in Avena, I think if he was buried in Zambia, it would be a bonus for them. But if the second master insists they are okay, South Africa. For Mama Esther. What I can tell her is Silva Lungu was just a husband to her. That man was the family. If I were Mama Esther, I would go, actually, if they were to take the body to Zambia, UPND would campaign themselves if they touched Mama Esther after.
You know?
Yes.
Hey.
UPND would campaign because all of us would be like, no, hold on a minute. That's what they would have done. UPND, I'm sure after Barrio, that's why the president was saying, let's Barry talks will come later. He's a human being, he knows what he's doing. They would have definitely campaigned themselves if they had detached Mama Esther after Balungu Bafwa. That would be very unfair. So people are just being very careful with what they are doing. But if I was Mama Esther, I would bury and then I just say, you know what? My husband is gone. Do whatever you want to do to me. People will support her. But like that, it's really a shame, honestly. Keeping a body like that.
No,
you know, everybody would want you. Muntu bashika, ela mwapema mwaikala. Ifi ashala mwalanshanya. We know what is going on.
No.
So that's what I wanted to say anyway. I don't have much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Hello? 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 Hello?
Mr. Brown, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
How is Kia?
Please go ahead and make your contribution.
I think people doesn't know what a president is. People think that if HH wanted to see the body of Edgar Lungu, he was not going to make any other plan to make sure he see that body. Hello?
Yes. We are hearing you. Please go ahead.
Yes. Because if ever HH wants to see this body, he can see it without anyone knowing that he has seen it. It's as easy as all that. Here is just a game of politics, my brother. It's just a game of politics. PF, they are trying by all means. In the other way, they are decampaigning themselves because pride is not on their side. You see? At the other side again, they are doing this so that if they lose the elections, they come back and say they stopped the burial so that we don't have enough time to put our house in order.
Okay. That was that. Hello? Hello,
Mr. Tali, am I here? Am I live?
Yes, you are live.
Yeah, just a quick one. I just want to...
But it's like you are driving, so the line is cutting. Maybe if you stop, it would help.
Let me give it a try, because I can't stop where I am.
Okay, please go ahead. Let's see.
Just a quick one. You know, the lady was talking about that Balungu came out on his own, that is coming back into politics. What she doesn't know is that there were people who him before you went to that interview. People forced him that you can, if you get back into active politics. So she was missing the only thing she thought would happen is when Lungu got that interview. There was things going on behind before the interview. And the other thing, hello, am I there? Am I still there?
Yes.
And the other thing about this barring of ECL in South Africa, them what they're only seeing or interested in, them guys who are keeping the body, is this drama which is happening now. But what they know is they are erasing ECL from history, I would say. Because 20 years, 50 years from India won't even be remembered if you be at the embassy park, you know? Because whoever will be coming to view former presidents, they won't be seeing ECL's grave there. So they're erasing him from history. They need to think about those terms in, for future reasons. For now.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
That's what I wanted to say. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Hello? Hello? Go ahead.
Okay. Me, I have a question. If the former president goes back in politics, at what point benefits food?
If he resigns again. If he resigns again. So, or in this case, if he dies. If he resigns again or he dies. Yeah.
So that resign I will run 6 months, then as I will active politics to
exactly.
Okay. Okay. Then okay na totela. Then chimbi never tell to much for kulanda potata kwebati. Mwasha Mozambia presta pretend sana. First thing, we can't reconcile when we haven't identified the problem. First thing, we identify the problem, then that's when reconciliation comes in. Then mwana like if it's take pali wa Edgar Lungu. Na mama families fila fitika. Tamasa ngwapo watu watano kushika tawali pile iwe. Tamori pile. So we should stop pretending and face reality. So apefili fuido kuchitika batayari. Na ngwifia lingide kuchitika. Tawali lingide kuya kumakoti. The government they could have seen where they can help. Family ngayakana kuti vaikala nalitamba wakawechikaunda the other day. Wakawechikaunda was saying judgment yaishire isanishi vaishikana kale. Then why are we saying lelo that ilia judgment yavakaunda ali setting up presidents when judgment came after battle? A question that's quite time.
Okay, so let me just respond. Let me just respond.
Okay.
But your issue at setting a precedence. It is true what you have said that it came afterwards. Okay, but the judgment when they say it set a precedence, because it means that what will come later on will be looked at according to that judgment. So that's what they mean by precedence. So yes, Makaunda was already buried by the time the judgment was coming, but it meant that other instances where there is an impasse between the family and the government, what will follow is what is in the judgment. That's what they mean when they say precedence. Mwangu for win.
Yes. So because I heard him saying we just compromised with the government.
Yes, but
so
later on, judgment yarisa fuma. And when judgment came out, so now we are not talking about really wakaunda. We are talking about what the judgment said. What the judgment said, and what the judgment said is that public interest, is bigger than the individual or family wishes. That's what it means. So presidency, kwewati ukufuma lelo. If you akula inga public stick vya so, if you akula konka ni fine. Mwamuna presidency ukufuma lelo nga public stick vya so, nga kwaba ukutalikana family na government pakushika kwa president. If you tufiro okulole sharp kwewati awe public interest kufaya kwa abantu kufaya kwa chalo chonse kwa chinda mapo ukuchira ama wishes ya muntu uyo ufuile na ngula family efo ile fwaya efo bamini na kwa president kwa bati ukufuma lelo efo to akula konka nifi enkwa
nomba kaili chindi batali echo nalalanda kwe chalasi chakwe bati na wa government besu ichibaletere problem chakwe bati benchmark yabo ni PF was voted out of power. So PF was minimum power can't be benchmark yabantu abali mu power. They need to do better, not to kula chitafita government like mama nefya kumfungo shani. These are the problems if causing historical level.
No, if fishing kamwala.
So we can do better as a country batayari.
Sure, abona na sumina.
Mwayumva ka?
Awe mwalanda fishing. Mwalanda fishing.
Then na imwe batayari na kalamba bandi. Na amiromba ko chimo. Mama ne fini lelo ndamulela stop being emotional and personal attack pabantu like ndamulela pabena makebi na bashaki because these are the same issues ya miletero kubutuka mu country mwaleba two personal na bena HH. So that one na musambili leko. Talk about issues, stop talking about individuals on with emotion.
Awe umfamwana. Apo nalawa kwati teku ipokolola. I don't talk persons. I talk issues. When I say Makebi Zulu failed in his constituency, it's not personal. It's a fact. It's a fact. But you are right. Sometimes in the pitiria kona ile ndi muntu fechachi ne muna mberera kusi na totera.
I also today no.
Hello.
Congratulations, engagement. Mwachumfa wachera walando abeva yawe nishe ya kisha kwa wakati mbona ama ufa pusha kwa kwesho. So nobana inende pusha bata watu ndio sala kupasha. Wote ndio position kala lendezo. Pusha nobana ni fishi ekyo pusa. Umufisa ifota mulefa kumoni akaide mwana kala suka wala kwa hata nyasu. Pamoja kipushisheko na bena ifyo pusa. Ifota kwa ila uliaye mwana. Echo enough go na bagera tende kutecho bafisa ndi shire ko bafisa icha bakufanya so for ishiba ya president ekile icha je one side that I think you for help me what the icha kutendo bafisa yimwe eyo kumo number 2 na ukomanda umzanja babeva libanga dawe hata inde mtashike Lungu, we munangwe. Numa barungu bashikire uri kaunda. Umukobe ari munabo wabantu. Nangula mu politics bushe ni bonsha bakofesha uko iri agongana na ngawu niyo mustapota na party muri. For example, batatafa
and then the whole group in someone who is from PF. Umbilindi kuti hapo alijua ule tekaniza ule position was ever to place the freedom. So it's possible. No matter I want to be the best and to was not possible. I want to get to the moon. I want to say yeah. When I want to achieve that mawas, I want to say by Edgar. Perform school to was one time of focus. I used to. And I just want to Malalan because politics was at the head. Look at this. That I'm up on by a relative. What does that word mean? That's why I said, by a pandangama. I don't take care of your agenda and not on. I don't understand this. Because everyone who wants. And I have to protect this from a child. Must protect it, and then to the other side. He was ready for that. He came here. What am I about? I have a global mentor in Mutati. I would doubt him if you said my politics, the party of the Alawati. So, what are you concerned for? This is why let us try to put them together. But inform. But I can't never politics. Number one, politics. President Natasha.
Natotera sana. You know, he has made very good points there. Hello? 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 Hello?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, President Daddy.
Yes, sir.
It's good. I've managed to be through with your line. I've been trying for quite a while. In fact, I've been trying for a few days. But it's good. I'm able to speak on your program. My contribution will be very short, President Ali. Yes, are you able to hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, yes. Ni monaka ka program kama chanda tawe President HH. Like from the heading, I've seen President HH say this. I think it's something like it's not about winning and losing. I think as a Zambian, I understand info yava lungu yalichitika and umina Zambia also aba genuine would love balungu baisa lala muchalo icho babombe na muchalo chabo edwonze fyo tuisha like ifwe kumwezeko tuwafuma kula batawe nkalalo ko bashiko mtoto that is normally what we always say in ekonafuma kumwe. So we all would love balungu baisa lala kumwabo eko bashikire oko batekere chalo basungira Zambians and all that, but sometimes as Zambians tufire tu aba genuine nefire chitika muchalo and in as much as particular na Brema family, but also the government should take responsibility, including bakateka bale take, because when you Namoisa because public interest, if you know my brother, when you are yourself, you are not in the country. Sorry, I have to give a very close example. Like for example, uli mchalo, like uli kumbi. No public interest but you should tayari. Sometimes the most important people in your life. And that is the family, especially in Ghana. Then ngoli mutu, like for example, Lunga bali abatunduru. Let's assume Lungu tabafuire. Then government is say no, Lunga fuire isa kuno, abakuno. I don't know why I'm getting that feedback when.
Please just go ahead and please get to the point. Mule shinguluka sana. Hello?
Oh, awe, she shinguluka basa. Let me don't look at because I'm using you as an example. Like for like when I was trying to give you as an example, like you know you are not in the country Zambia. Like for kwaisa abati baisa and tono public interest if I got chirufya tayari ese kuno. Better example imomuli abatundru balungu na.
Let me ask you.
Twaisa chinda balungu bada abatundru baisa government ile bafwa balungu ese kuno.
Sorry.
But
hello. Let's go.
Yes, I'm hearing. I can hear you.
Let's get to the point. Your point is that if government. Now, my question is insisting to say no. Is it uniting the country? Isn't that bitterness?
I think after Balungu Bafmamu take my brother, Ukubafia in a chink, we've seen a lot of bitterness. And Abantu wants in a kutina affair, I would love Abantu wants bitterness is sometimes it's normal. Fear and fear Abantu Bapitamo. These are people who have passed through a lot. So
Balungu Bafide na bitterness mumanda yabo.
Balungu, if you're buyer, my brother, we don't know. Maybe Lungu has died a very bitter man. Family.
The question is it okay to perpetuate whatever bitterness? Is it okay? That is the question. Is it okay? Is it justified? If you think it is okay, fine. I mean, that's okay. That is a
President, I with all due respect, because I'm somebody who respects you. I don't look at you like somebody like, but
I mean, let's be focused. Hello. Yes.
Hello, President Tayali. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Hello, sir.
Yes. Good evening.
Good evening, President Tayali. I'm Bruce calling from Rosario.
Please go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. I think let's look at this issue from this point of view. When we lost President Madagascar, that point when MMG was in power, and there was nothing like this. We went on to lose President Chilumba while SPF was in power, and there was nothing like this because at that time President Chilumba was not back into politics. We lost President Kaunda, who was not into politics. Before President Kaunda, we lost President Michael Sata. There was nothing like this because PS was in power. Then we went on to lose our first Republican president, Dr. KK. There was a problem here and there, but we talked about that, it was resolved. We lost President Michael Sata, President Banda, when he was not active politics, and there was nothing like this. Where we are finding problems now is because this powerful party has always been the problem. Now that we lose the president, when they are not in power and they're still pushing for them to come back into power, that's why they are doing what they are doing. It's not political. It's just political violence. That's why the people are always been a troublesome party. That's all I can say.
Yeah, it's all about politics. It's all about politics. Hello?
Hello, what Mrishan?
Bueno,
Enquiry. So much push as in justification of family wanting to bury in South Africa.
Is it justified?
Enquiry. I feel that question hasn't been answered, or if it has been answered, we sure has not been answered adequately. So what we are getting is no the ECL, everybody about me, this is, you went through this and this, all those things, people trying to lament. What we are forgetting is that we want to politics if you are.
You know?
Bonse abafayo kutungura bengi balapita mufingi. Lelo tete twamba okutira yo panchine napita omuno special. Look at where you are there, my brother. It's because of politics.
Yes, absolutely.
Tapali nangu fimoyo ni politics.
Yes.
So kuticha wamana ingoba tayari maironga mwasa mwate kati yo. Pantu na request za onaine. Inchitesha.
Na iwe yaka indechira makabia mwekisa.
Si. Efe yaba politics. Elo chimbi. The HH is not as if probably he wants to attend that, ceremony, maybe in his personal capacity. No. If at all, I don't think maybe he even wants to attend, but then he's forced.
He's a president.
By his position.
Yes.
To represent the Zambians.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
He will represent the Zambians.
Yes.
Maybe to settle all this dusty, we should have 2 funerals in one. Family, they should bury, they should have a private ceremony in Givashika. Thereafter, we should commemorate maybe as a country. We invite others. Maybe a Chingatwaf.
Thank you, thank you. And you know, that's the point, That's the point. Politics. I mean, politics, like me, I tell you, I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter. And I know that Haka in the Ichima doesn't hate me personally. I know. It is because I pose a threat politically. Whether you people would say what I pose a threat politically. How many people talk in Zambia and they are not arrested? They are just left. Some people, they talk carelessly. They talk carelessly, but nobody bothers about them because, I mean, they are not a threat. They are not a threat. But for me, they have realized that this guy commands a following. This guy has an influence. And that is why, I mean, they can't they can't let me live in peace. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Mr. Dad.
Yes, sir.
Done.
Yes.
Okay, nachafa okwepusha ko abantu abaliranda ati bali bashita strip ama benefits yabo. Ushenga wabashita strip ama benefits yabo nishi na murekodi babafumye mwachi bali ni ba president bezo. Mama naka. Because if you for kukata on as our former head of state. Yena na wakwata kapati bali ima waya ku South Africa. Mkukwata masi yabo. Then you are aware of Zambia kuno at no twali abashika balungu isene nomba tuvotere tukaye bashikura tukabaweshe manje tukese bashika kuno benanga wa government state machinery bakora abo mtoko ya basta kubasiyeti balungu sai kumofile abena ba UPN bali abo mfyafe ama office like the old that is requiring of them to do what is needed. So it's just like them na wachi bawere mbawo nabena bakora umjama kaya ku government kuyashelita balungu in the same capacity as government. So why is it not just let it be possible okay attend that this time and we do it once and for all ukitira inoma mushika hapa mara ya mwenye mata mushika hapa no because of the former president. That's not fair to the person that has passed no.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Tad.
Thank you. Anyway, I think I'll leave it here. But basically, from my point of view, is that, you know, the justification that are being advanced by the family, including those that have called in, including Vachea. Vachea lady has also come in. She has also echoed the same, you know, bitterness. No, haka in the Ichilema, haka in the Ichilema, haka in the Ichilema. From my point of view, that is not right. And it's not a justification, not even me who is in exile. If I were to die today, I don't think my children will be justified to come and say, no, we don't want Hakainde Hichilema anywhere nearby. If Hakainde Hichilema has to attend the funeral. No, no. And my family know this because some of you were even giving examples about me. But I can tell you that you can be rest assured that you would never have such a situation with my family, never. Because I don't teach my children bitterness. I don't teach my children bitterness. For me, this is bitterness. To dwell on, no, this is what happened. This is what happened. This is bitterness. And then to even single it out on an individual, Hakainde Hichilema, that is hatred for a person. That is hatred for a person. So, from my point of view, they don't have a good reason to bury Edgar Chagwa in South Africa. And yes, at the end of the day, it is likely that Edgar Chagwa will be buried in South Africa. It is likely. And why do I say this? Because even if the court rules to say, no, let him go and be buried in Zambia, the South African government will not bulldoze the family. Hey, go. No, they can never do that. They won't do that. So they will still allow them according to the will. And this is why even the judgment, you expect a judgment, a balanced judgment. A judgment that will say, the government is right, that he should be buried in Zambia. But at the same time, we respect the wishes of the family. I'm sure this is how the judgment will be. So it will not be to say, no, government has lost. No, no. Because so far, the government of South Africa, even the court, agrees with the Zambian government. But at the same time, they cannot force a bereaving family. They can't. They can't. So at the end of the day, we are likely to see Edgar Lungu buried in South Africa. But at the end of but the real issue is not about this bitterness. The real issue is the cases. Mamaeva Esther is scared to come to Zambia. She's scared. If she goes to Zambia, she's scared that, you know, she might not be able to go out, including some of the children. But mostly, it is about Mamaeva Esther. And her fear is justified because she was once incarcerated. She was put in cells. And it had to take the perseverance and the influence of Edgar Lungu that she came out. Now that is gone, I'm sure she's thinking twice to say, who is going to protect me? But like one of the callers said that UPND would have been campaigning against itself if they went for Balungu. Even me, I would not agree for Esther Lungu. Even me, I would not agree that Esther Lungu be going Kuma courts after this. I think we would have all rallied behind Esther and, you know, spoke for her. Unfortunately, with what they are doing, I mean, we are now talking and what we are saying here, like some of you are noting to say, no, I mean, this is not good, this is not good, this is not good. Unfortunately, when politics comes in, things become nasty. When politics comes in, things become nasty. It becomes nasty. Unfortunately, this is why now we are even having the death certificate being published. And people are saying, no, they have given Tayari a death certificate. Well, that death certificate, you must know that it was one of the evidence that was filed in court. Makebi Zulu filed his arguments on the 4th, the other day. Makebi Zulu filed his arguments on the 4th. And part of the evidence is the death certificate. That is why you are seeing the death certificate circulating. It has not come from the hospital, like we went to the hospital or government went to the it was filed in court. It was filed in court, and my connections in South Africa got it and sent it to me. So that is the situation. But all this is coming because of the family. We are in court because of the family. If the family were compromising, we wouldn't be in court. Government is doing all this so that indeed tomorrow no one will say, you should have done this, you should have done this, you should have done this. They are exhausting every possible mean or every possible channel that can facilitate negotiations. Because it is in court, we are now talking. And government is writing to them to say, can we please discuss? But they are refusing. Pretty much that. Let me take the last caller. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, please.
Hello? Yes, yeah, just the one thing. Me, I was wondering, because I'm trying that Edgar Lungu should be buried in South Africa. But then the thing is, the first initial wish, now we are you'll be buried kufamu kunganda. Body kalaisa no kuwela. Inge ya kwabati nomba yes to be buried in South Africa. Nibachi introduce will.
Well, that is part of the propaganda that is coming up, but
anyway. Yes, that's what the problem is.
And this is why I said that, you know, people have been saying, no, government is changing, government is changing. From my point of view, the people that have been changing, it's the family. Government has been very consistent. All they want is to bury Edgar Lungu in Zambia after a befitting send-off. Government has not been changing. But they are saying, no, government is changing. Government has not been changing. It is them that have been changing.
No. It is them who are changing as it suits them.
Yeah.
It's them who are changing. Yeah. It's not fair. It's not right. It's not good. Just follow. If you're we don't know. Because if you look at, is it that Mr. Banda, Dr. Banda? There was nobody participated. He was on his own. He was on his own. So, okay, probably he spoke to the wife before it. People talk, go along. And he knew, you know, or something. They start preparing them way back. But I'm not prepare. You know what? I think definitely treatment. So people start making wishes. Start preparing for your future. Okay? Start preparing for it. So people start preparing from the way they go. So wishes South Africa. Don't make it sense.
Anyway, just to clarify also that I didn't get it that they wanted the body to be buried at the farm. No. What they said is that they wanted the body to be staying at the farm.
Oh yeah,
to be staying at the farm, not to be buried there.
But to buried wherever.
That's what
they want. Then should be buried to South Africa when the ditches.
No. Anyway, thank you very much, my sister.
That's why they have to be very careful with what they say, because we are listening to everything.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. Bye.
There's one gentleman that has been persistently calling. Maybe I can close on that one because he has been persistently calling. I just want to pick that guy. I want to pick that guy, not this one. There's a number that I've been seeing. It has been coming persistently. Okay, he's not calling. I think he has given up. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the program. I think it has been interactive. I've gotten something, and the issue, like I've said, the justification is not really adding up. It is based on bitterness. It is based on hatred to bury Edgar Chagwa in South Africa. I mean, there is no any other way. Whatever could have been there, now that Edgar Lungu is dead, I think we should put aside all these issues. Hakainde Hichilema has not dwelt on what was done to him when Edgar Lungu was in State House. Why should we insist why should we insist on Edgar Chagwa? I don't think it is a good reason. It is not uniting. It is not reconciliatory. On that note, I say thank you very much. Thank you, even to a special thanks to Chair. You know, you see, this is how it is. This is how it is. It's politics. Chair and I, we don't usually agree. There is the man. Hello. Hello?
Mr. President, how are you?
You know, I've seen that you are trying. So I said I need to give this man a chance. You are my last call. I'm not picking another.
Mwabomba fe bwino President.
Bwino fe mkwae.
Mkwae, awe. Ya, mulera ndafe file mfuika. Otherwise, aba bantu ni bitterness fe bakwete abo. Bitterness fe bakwete, so ekani bachitofu bara chitabena.
Yeah, okay. You have to phone. So yeah, thank you. And like I was saying, I was talking about Chair. I mean, this is what it is. I mean, we don't agree on a number of issues, but we are not enemies. I cannot die and the Chair comes to my funeral and my children will be like, no, you shouldn't be there. You never used to agree with my father. No, it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like that. Even me, and I'm talking about me, I am in exile. The day that I would die, if I were to die here, I'm telling you, it would not be, you would not hear any of my family members saying, hey, are you PND? Hey, no. It shouldn't be like that. That is bitterness. That is bitterness. I'm a politics, yeah, recover. When you enter politics, you need to realize that, I mean, you will go through difficulties. You will go through challenges. But you shouldn't be bitter. Me, I'm not bitter against anyone. I am not bitter against anyone. Not even Aka in the Ichirema. Not even, I am not bitter at all. I am not bitter. I can speak strongly. Not even Makebi Zulu. I am not. If I meet Makebi Zulu, I'll greet him. I'll even say, let's have a cup of tea. Let's eat together. I'll do that. Of course, himself, if he's bitter, that is his problem. But this is politics. He has entered into politics. In politics, we bruise each other big time. Anyway, Natotela sana, bye. May God bless you. May God bless Zambia. I really hope that at the end of the day, Edgar Lungu will be buried in Zambia. If they don't bury him in Zambia, I can assure you, when we come into power, we are coming into power. Chirifatayadi and others, we will come into power. We will bring back Edgar Lungu into Zambia. We will come and bury him in Zambia. Bye for now.